I'll now demonstrate how you can use React to build a simple calculator app that is able to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division operations. I have some code for this app already written. However, because it's incomplete, it encounters problems when it compiles. The first problem is that useRef is not defined, so I'll import useRef to fix that issue and then press Ctrl S to recompile. The second problem is that the useState hook is not defined, so let's import that as well. And when I recompile once more, the problems should be resolved. So the structure of the app is there, but currently it can only perform addition, so I need to add the other functionalities. Let's start by examining what I have for the plus function. It runs the prevent_default function on the receiveEvent object, and then it invokes a function for updating the state variable. I can use this as a template for the other functions I will write, so I will copy and paste this code into the functions I've started. In the minus function, I update result plus number to result minus number, so that it subtracts whatever is in the input. In the times function, I update the same snippet to result asterisk number, and finally for the divide function, I use the divide operator or / to make it result/number. Now I also have two functions called resetInput, which sets the input value to 0, and resetResult, which sets the result value to 0 as well. ResetInput needs to run prevent_default, and I follow this with input_ref.current.value equals 0. For resetResult, I use a different approach. I have it run prevent_default, but then instead of setting the value to 0 directly, I have it multiply the previous value by 0. I type this as setResult, followed by an arrow function that directs prevval to return prevval times 0. Now if I go to the return statement of the app component, I find that I need to add the value of the current total as a JSX expression. So I type result. I can condense this code to a single line, so I'll do that. Next, I have to add buttons to trigger the functions that I've written. I paste in 5 button components that I've written previously, each of which is bound to an on-click event. This component is written for the plus function, so that is already taken care of. I'll update the other button components by changing the function that is called for each one, as well as the text displayed on the button. So the second button calls the minus function. The third button calls times. The fourth calls divide. The fifth one calls resetInput. And the final button calls resetResult. Now I press Ctrl S to save my changes. I'm ready to test out my app, so I type 2 in the input field and then click on the Add button. The result changes from 0 to 2, and then adding 2 again updates it to 4. Next, if I type 1 and then click on Subtract, the result becomes 3. If I enter 10 in the input field and click on Multiply, I end up with 30 as the new result. And now if I type 6 and click on Divide, I get a value of 5. Finally, I can click resetInput to set the value in the input field to 0, as well as click resetResult to clear the result and bring it back to 0. And that's it. My code is complete and my app works as per the requirements.